Welcome to Ready, Set, Sold with your host, Bryan Vogt. Are you wanting or even thinking about selling your house but don't know where to start? Good thing you found Ready, Set, Sold. And now, real estate broker, Bryan Vogt.
Welcome everyone to Ready, Set, Sold. I'm your host, Bryan Vogt. And welcome to the show that we have the 12 steps of getting your house sold for top dollar and a fast sale. A little background about the show and what we're doing here. This year I wrote a book, became a #1 Amazon bestseller called Ready, Set, Sold, 12 Proven Steps to Get Your House Sold for Top Dollar and a Fast Sale. After writing the book, very soon after, 1260 The Answer contacted me and said, hey, how about doing a weekly program on the book and doing step-by-step on how people can have great success by selling their home and getting top dollar and a fast sale? And I said, sure, this is why we're here now. With that being said, a little bit more background about me. I've been in real estate now for 16 years, /realtor broker. I run a very successful team of experienced agents, been doing this for combined experience of 30 plus years. They're remarkable people. I'm blessed to be working with them. And I have lived in Shiloh for, Shiloh, Illinois for probably over 22 years. Born and raised in Metro East. And I still haven't got used to the weather. I don't know, just, I get it, but the humidity and sometimes, even the coldness sometimes gets me, but hey, it's okay. I love the Cardinals like most people do, so that's a good thing. And the people are just fantastic. Some of the best people there are, I believe, in the country live in the St. Louis Metro East area. With that said, the book I have is being offered for free. There's no catch. There's no nothing. I wrote the book for numerous reasons, but one of the reasons why is that people didn't know where to start. They absolutely didn't know where to start. What's the first step? What's the second step? What's the third step? But they just didn't know where to start, and that's one of the reasons why I wrote the book. And again, as I mentioned, this is a free book. I'm offering it, no strings attached. You don't have to use me. You don't have to use our team. That's fine, but just get the information so you can get that started. Another reason is that people would get on the internet and many times would have things, if it was on the East Coast or West Coast, that would be fantastic. If that's where their house was located at. But unfortunately it wasn't. It's here in the heartland, the Midwest, and we have some uniqueness with that. Definitely in prices, just even different cultures, just how things are done. It's just a little bit different. I happen to think a little bit better, but that's my personal opinion. The other thing is the TV shows. I don't know, there's 25, 30 how to sell your house shows, and many people after watching that get more confused than when they started from. So that's another reason why I wrote the book. And the book is to kind of make it very clear, very easy to read. That was my intent, but information packed, talking about the military buyers, what updates you should do, what updates you shouldn't do. Just a variety of things of how you can get top dollar. And it's 12 proven steps. And I always say 12 proven steps, and there's a reason for that. It's not conjecture. It's not theory. It's not I hope it works. These are steps that if you use and others before you have used, you can have fantastic success. Actually, more success than most people can imagine. That you can get your house sold in a fast way and get more money in many cases than most sellers even imagined. So that's kind of the basis of what it is. Now, to get the book, go to readysetsold.org, not .com, readysetsold.org, not .com, and get the book. It's, again, free, easy read. It'll be sent directly to your doorstep. So with that, keeping that in mind, where's the market at right now? The market has been really, really strong. And it has stayed strong. And this is something we haven't seen for a very long time. We've had spurts in the spring and in January even, and even in the midsummer, but we haven't had this continuous, basically hot market, especially in the Metro East, O'Fallon, Shiloh, Belleville, Swansea, Edwardsville, Waterloo, Skyforce area, around there, Mascouda, Freeburg, places like that, Lebanon, have had some fantastic success. So if you're thinking about putting your house in the market, number one, get the book. That would be a great thing. But number two, understanding that there's a timeline, and I've talked about this numerous times, but there's a 3-month timeline. In 3 months, the market is going to change. Now, that could be great for you, or it may not be so great. And sometimes we just don't always know the reason why. There's just so many other things that affect us. Again, North Korea, things are going internationally that we have no control over. Those things can have doubt. And when you have doubt in buyers' minds, then they're less likely to buy. What's going on with Skyforce space? Not that we know anything bad, but we've had those situations before. So there's external, and then there's also the situation of no one really knows. Sometimes there is a glut. I mean, the best theory I've ever heard is that sometimes sellers all of a sudden jump on at one time, and supply and demand, and there's a glut, and now there is too many houses on the market, which can have an effect on prices and timing. And there's also situations, and again, no one knows this either, of there's just a lag for maybe 2 weeks or a month. And I've heard that theory, and I tend to agree with that the buyers just stopped buying. No particular reason, just worked out that way. Of course, interest rates, things of those nature can have an effect too if those change. So there's a lot of reasons why we talk about the 3 months. When I talk about the 3 months, why that's so important. 2 months, it's maybe 50-50. It's going to change. 30 days, very unlikely, but it can change. Again, one of the things I just mentioned, interest rates, all those things have become factors. Buying homes, buyers deal so much on emotion, so much on how they think things are going, and it's driven so much by that. So if you're thinking about getting your house in the market, I would suggest do it now. Talk to a realtor. Get the book, talk to the realtor, use that realtor. With that, we're going to be talking about the last step this week. And actually, when I wrote this step, I was kind of not sure if I wanted to put this in the front of the book or the end of the book, and I decided on the end of the book. And what it's called, the step is called, are you going for the many, are you going for the few? And what does that mean? Well, we're going to go deeper into it in the next segment, and we're talking about painting and carpeting, how that has to play, pricing in the third segment, and then the fourth segment, bathrooms and kitchen. And the last segment, I'm going to start doing, and I've been doing it now for the last couple of weeks, it's going to be the $5,000 tip of the week, and that's for sellers either to earn them or possibly save them $5,000. So you want to stay tuned for that. With that being said, many of the few, it's basically a mindset. It's a mindset on how you approach it. Have you done the things as a seller to get things lined up? Again, many of those are in the book, the steps of getting the painting, getting the carpeting, getting the kitchens and bathrooms, all those things lined up. To give you kind of an example, we had a situation where there's two houses, and they're both in O'Fallon, Illinois, and they basically were built by the same builder. So they were square footage, everything was, they weren't in the same subdivision necessarily, but they were very close, and they were very similar in price points, and everything was the same. One who had taken the mindset of going for the many, in 2 weeks' time, had an offer, actually had multiple offers, to where they weren't really negotiating, they were just choosing which offer they wanted to have. They got the deal done. They got more money than even they thought they would. They got it done in a fast way, and within 30 days, they were on to bigger and better things where they were going to. Super excited. The other house chose for the few. Meaning is, well, you know what? If I get a couple people in here, it might work. And look, it might work. It does. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. And they did sell their house, but it took months. In fact, it took 3 months, and they wound up being very frustrated, didn't quite get the pricing they were looking for. They did sell their house, but they had 2 different experiences. And we're going to explain why that is. And in the next segment, start talking more in depth about it. Is there luck about? Well, sometimes there is a little bit of luck, but most experienced agents could look at those houses and have a pretty good idea already why one worked and why the other one had a different experience. With that said, you're listening to Ready, Set, Sold with Bryan Vogt. Hey, get the book. Go to readysetsold.org, not .com, readysetsold.org, not .com. There's tons of this information and much, much more in there. We'll see you after the break. Bye-bye.